welcome back to Rachel and Bella Crafts. Rachel here, I hope you're all well. So we have a saying in this country, it's called sod's law, and it kind of means something along the lines of the Alanis Morissette song, Isn't It Ironic? So I did something today and then I put pictures of it up into the Facebook group. I didn't video it because I've got to be honest, I didn't think anybody would want to watch me doing it. And then when I put the photos of, everybody said, is it a video? Well, there wasn't, but now there's going to be. So that's what this is. So if you want to know how I did this today, keep watching because I'm going to explain. But obviously I'm not going to do this one because this one's in and it's stuck in. And I think it looks rather marvellous. So basically what I've done here is I have made a false spine. And I have then bound using elastics so I can then slide in my signatures. Oh my goodness, if I can get my fingers into there. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to show you very quickly what I did because it's really easy. I'm going to use a bright blue elastic for this just so that you can see the elastic out against the card. And I'm not going to put eyelets in, so you're going to have to just pretend I put eyelets in because I'm not going to, because it's just a demo. But I'm just going to explain to you what I did, all right? So the first thing I've done is I've taken a piece of card. Oh my goodness, the thickness is the thickness of your choice. I've used something a little thicker here, but I couldn't find something that thick when I just looked then. So I'm going to use this bit for now. This I would say is probably about 140 GSM what I've got here. And that'll do, that will suffice. So the next thing that I did was I took my signatures and I checked, oh let me take that out there a minute. I checked where within the book, because obviously our covers, they range in different shapes and sizes, and I checked where exactly I wanted it to sit. So, I thought, right, well, I need it to be that long, X, Y, Z. I put the piece underneath and then I marked it. So I'm going to do the same with this one now. So I'm going to place that under there. I'm going to put the top of the signature at the top and then look where the bottom is, and then I'm going to mark it because I only need the piece underneath to be as long as the actual signature of the journal. I don't need it to be any longer than that, otherwise my signature will sit here and then at the fake spine will be coming out down here, and I didn't want it to do that. I just wanted it to be just behind, so there was a hint there of colour, but I wanted this still to remain on show because obviously the theme of vintage. But you could take it all the way up if you wanted to. That was a personal preference. That's the word I'm looking for, isn't it? So I'm going to mark that there, and then I'm just going to then take the width measurement. I'm going to nip over to the paper cutter a second, so bear with while I just slice, because I'm going to try and do this in one edit tonight, so it's nice and quick for you all. So that's the first one, and then that's the second one. I hope this fits now. Yes, look at that, perfect, marvellous. Right, okay. So once I'd done that, the next thing I then did was I took some fabric. This should be on it. Oh, I'll sit down. Sorry, I don't like to shouting in ears. So I took some fabric, this very fabric here, which I thought was rather pretty, and I took my Fabri-Tac glue and I Fabri-Tac'd all across the back, and then I stuck it down. So imagine now I've stuck that on there. And then I cut it really neatly. Obviously I didn't use a piece this big. I used a piece that was about that long because on the back it is just tucked over and all the edges are just tucked in like this, okay? So like I said, I'm not going to repeat the process because I don't want to waste the materials, but on the back it's glued like that. So then on the front it's nice and taut. So we're going to imagine now that this is covered in material, okay? Also, you don't have to cover it in material. You can do all sorts of fabulous things with it. I watched an excellent one a couple of months back by Pam from Paper Outpost, and she had painted hers because she was doing, I think it was a botanical, themed journal, maybe, I might be wrong, but I know she painted it and it was really cool. She put like different colours on there and it blended into the background then of her book. But I've covered mine in fabric because obviously I'm doing a vintage theme book and it's, vintage florally, fabric-y kind of thing, so I wanted to have a nice bit of fabric behind. So imagine now I have covered this with fabric, okay? Then I'm going to take my crocodile. If you don't have a crocodile, you can do this with a hole punch, and if you don't have a hole punch, you could do it with your awl on a bit of cork, you know, to make some holes. But ideally, I would imagine to have one if you're putting eyelets in, because obviously you're going to have to put the eyelets in afterwards. So let's say I'm going to pretend I'm putting the eyelets in. Now, what I did simply, actually, I'll show you how I got my my measurements. I placed my bit of card on here, and because I could see that it's just, obviously every spine is going to be different, isn't it? So you need to kind of like find your own way in which you can measure equally, you know, the center part of where you're going to put your mark. But I basically put it on here, and I could see between the grid, oh, let me try and get that straight a second, where the 2 eyelets could sit, just so that I had it. And I just did like this, and it's, you know, it's nothing technical. I just looked, it was all by eye, and I thought, right, well, I got the same amount of gap this side as I got that side, and I'm going to use those 2 markers there as my markers. And I simply just went like that, and then aimed for the line above until it looked right. So it was nothing technical. It's all by eye. It's all by eye, because at the end of the day, nobody's measuring our journals, they're looking at them, aren't they? So if it doesn't offend my eye, it's fine. Okay, so then I took my crocodile and I used the widest setting, because I know that when I put my eyelets in, it needs to be on the widest setting. And then I cut my holes. So we did 1 and a 2, and then turned around the other way and did 1 and 2. Okay, that one's a bit wonky, never mind. So now you're going to pretend now I've put eyelets in there, okay? You all know how to do that. You don't need me to show you how to do that. The next thing I then did was I took some elastic. Ooh, this is like a massive spider's web. Oh gosh, don't talk to me about spiders. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to tell you about this. I was cleaning the kitchen yesterday. I was cleaning the house yesterday. And hoovering. I don't know what else I was doing. No, I wasn't. I was mopping the floor in the kitchen, and you just get that feeling something's on your hair. Now, my hair is always up in a bit of a messy mop on the top, so I'm always used to like bits flying about any. But you know, you just get that feeling there's something on your hair, and you tend to like flick at it, and there's normally nothing there. Oh my word, there was something there yesterday, and I flicked like that, and I was stood in front of the sink, and it was like that. Spider landed in my kitchen sink. I'm not frightened of spiders. I don't like big spiders. And he had what are these things at the front? They were big. I screamed. My 2 boys came running and said, "What's the matter?" There's a spider in the sink. It was in my hair. I didn't like it. It was awful. So like, by which time then I ran in to get my phone, because of course, what do we all do? We see something scary, we get our phones and take a photo of it. I ran in to get my phone to take a photo of it and walked back to the sink and couldn't see it. So I assumed it had gone. So I shouted then and said, "Somebody come and get this spider." And it was still in there. I don't know where he was hiding when I looked, but my son put a glass over it then and got rid of it for me. But oh my gosh, my head hasn't stopped itching since. It was horrible. Okay, so back to the elastic. Did you see what I just did? No, you probably didn't. I'm going to do that again, nice and slowly for this time. So 4 holes. Keep it upright like it's going to be in your journal. Take your elastic. You can see me now, and I'm in frame. And you're going to go up through this hole. Now, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Well, there may be a right or wrong way. I don't know what that is, but this is the way I did it. So if there's a better way, do it that way. But this is the way I've done it today, because I wanted mine to poke out. So you've got 2 choices when you're doing this. You're going to take it up and then back out. It's like threading laces. And you're going to bring it back into the top. So you've got all one thread, and then take it back out through the bottom. Now, if you don't want your elastic on show, so you don't want anything hanging out, this is the point at which you would then tie it nice and tight. This is why you need your cardboard to be a little bit more rigid than this is. I would have, if I was going to actually do this, I would have stuck 2 of these together. But then you would simply then tie a knot at the back. Okay? So I would just do that quickly just so you can see what I'm saying. There we go. Okay, so, and that then would sit in here. Oh, that's the glue over. That would sit in there, and then you wouldn't see any straps, and you wouldn't see anything on the back, and it would all be hidden and tucked away. Okay? Now, if you wanted to do it like I've done it here, where I definitely did want something on show, because I want to add something to that. So what I did, and as I said, there's probably an easier way than this, I'm not sure, but this is just the way I did it because I was like, oh, I don't want those on the back. Go into the first one at the bottom. You're going to come back out through the other one. Okay? Then you're going to go up to the top. Oh, I'm sorry, my hands are not good today. Go on out through it. That's it, out to the top. Then you're going to come in through the top. Okay? So now you've got this shape, right? Then you're going to bring this one down through the bottom hole and then back in. Okay, so that's it. And then you simply tie a knot at the bottom. And then you can leave it like that then, and then adjust it then afterwards. But if you put the string and the knot at the back, in order to fix the tension, you need the spine to be in the journal. And obviously for the spine to be in the journal, it needs to be glued down. And if you've got the knot at the back, you're not going to be able to access it to tighten it. So that's why I wanted to put it at the front. Plus because I wanted to put pretty dangly things on it, but that's just an aside. So imagining now this is covered in fabric and I've put my eyelets in and I've threaded my elastic, which I'm not going to cut because I'm not actually going to put it in here. Then all I simply did was glued all across the back. I did glue across the top as well and down here. I didn't put any on the actual elastic because I thought that kind of would defeat the object of me having that flexibility. And then I just put that into place. And there we go. How simple is that? And I'll just show you now quickly how I can put my signature in. Ooh, right, there we go. So, up and over, here we go. There we are. How's that? I know that makes it so much easier then when I want to work on my journal, because then it's not slipping and sliding around all over the place. It's in place and I can kind of get an idea then, and it shuts nicely. So there we are. I hope you find that helpful. Sorry I didn't do it the first time I did it. That'll teach me, won't it? I hope I didn't keep you too long. If you didn't mind leaving me a like and a comment if you enjoyed the video. And I hope you all have a great day. I'll be back with you really soon. Take care now. Bye.